Welcome to Nintendo of America for the unique Power of Choice product demonstration seminar.
Good morning, and welcome to the Nintendo team in the Power of Choice. During this holiday season, you and your store will be representing the largest manufacturer of video games in the world, Nintendo. And during this training, you'll come to understand what 70 million game players across the world have come to understand about Nintendo. We're just plain fun. As a product demonstrator, we have 4 tasks we'd wish you to accomplish. The first task is to help each of our consumers make an informed choice about which Nintendo product or accessory is right for them. Your second task as a demonstrator is to help our consumers experience the fun and excitement of each of our systems and software through the use of interactive and hands-on displays. Your third task as a Nintendo Power demonstrator is to answer questions that the consumer may raise about our competition. And your fourth task as a demonstrator is to impart Nintendo's strength and commitment to each of its 3 product hardware systems. In order to assist you in reading these tasks, we've divided this training into 3 different portions. In the first portion of the training video, you'll be learning how to set up your Mario stand-up display. We'll be covering each of the brochures that you have to use, as well as the product line fact sheets that you can use to help customers come to a purchase decision. In the second portion of the video, we'll be going into detail about Nintendo's product line. We'll be covering the hardware and the new hot software that's available to customers. In the third portion of the video, we'll be showing you how to fill out the forms and interact with your store managers to get extra supplies that you may need. At the end of this training, and in the back of your binder, you'll find a certificate of achievement in which we'd like you all to proudly display. Welcome, and thanks for coming aboard.
Give it an A. Nintendo!
Before going any further, let's check to make certain that you have all your supplies. Upon arrival at the store, you should have found 3 boxes. In the larger box, you'll find a training manual with this videotape. You'll also find 1 additional videotape that's our game system comparison tape. You'll find the stand-up Mario demonstration station with instructions for setup. And 100 of the following brochures: the Power of Choice, the Super NES, the Game Boy, the sports page, and 100 hookup posters. You'll find one time available poster. You should also find 2 buttons and 3 Nintendo Power Players Guides to attach to the stand-up Mario demonstration station. The Power Player Guides are the Super NES Player's Guide, the NES Game Atlas, and the Game Boy Player's Guide. You should find 2 sets of AA batteries for use in the Super Scope 6, 1 Mario Paint hat, 1 small screwdriver, 1 apron, 1 Mario Paint keychain with 3 keys, 1 pocket information card, 1 world-class Service Center counter pad, 1 roll of Mario Yoshi stickers for handouts to kids, assorted game pack manuals, and the following free gifts for you: 1 4-in-1 pen and knife set, and 2 Super NES pens. These will be useful during your working shift. You should also find included 1 additional box of supplies. That box will contain additional brochures as well as the sports page. If you are missing any of the items that we've listed, turn to the supplies section of your training binder and dial the 1-800 number provided. They'll be able to get you the supplies that you need. In the 3rd box, you will actually receive 1 of 5 different banners. You'll find in a portion of the banner it says, "Is coming." If you've determined that your store has that product in stock, please remove that portion of the banner to reveal a sign that says, "Is here." Make sure you have store personnel assist you in hanging that banner. We also talked about a time available poster. Your store personnel will need to fill out the times that you will be available for demonstration. They may hang this in the window of their store or in a stand-up metal display that you may have seen at various stores. Now let's talk about what it is we would like you to wear. We would like you to be casual yet professional. Feel free to wear slacks or pants and a nice shirt or blouse. We would also like you to wear the hat and the apron. You are going to remember to wear the hat and apron, aren't you? Good. Now let's take a look at some of the appropriate attire that you can wear while on assignment. Now let's cover the items available to you to carry and hand out to customers. The first item are the sets of brochures you have: the Super NES brochure, the Power of Choice brochure, and the Game Boy brochure. Next, you have a set of Mario Yoshi stickers. Feel free to hand these out to any of the kids you may encounter. Next, you'll find the hookup poster. Feel free to give this to anybody who's concerned about hooking up the Super NES system. And last, you'll find available the sports page. This is great for anyone who has questions about the Super NES sports titles that are available. Also included in your training binder are a series of 5 laminated sheets and 1 small pocket information card. The pink laminated sheet covers the Game Boy and NES product line. The light blue laminated sheet is a feature comparisons chart and an NOA product line comparison chart. The bright orange sheet are the hot Nintendo titles, including Mario Paint and Battle Clash. The orange sheet will be helpful when you do demonstrations on Mario Paint. It details the specific steps and how to draw, animate, and compose music. On the darker blue sheet is the Super NES product line information. And on the bright yellow sheet are the questions and answers you'll most commonly encounter while at the store.
There's also a green laminated sheet that contains information about Nintendo's CD-ROM accessory.
Included in your demonstrator kit is the stand-up Mario display. You'll need to make sure that this is positioned near the Nintendo product in your store. In the back of it is where you'll store all your supplies for brochures. Stand close to it while doing demonstrations. I've listed for you all the items you'll receive in your demonstrator kit. Now let me show you how to use each of those items. In the back of your Mario stand-up display is where you place each of your Nintendo Power issue magazines. This will detail gameplay information as well as have maps in all of our hot games for the Super NES, the Game Boy, and the NES. Anytime a consumer has a gameplay question, these will be a great resource tool. Down below in the bottom of the standee is where you'll place extra brochures. On top is where you'll place the sports page. Give this to any consumer that's in the store. It details all the hot sports titles available for our Super NES system. Down below is where you'll place the brochures for the Power of Choice, Game Boy, and Super NES, as well as the hookup posters. Those will be for extra supplies of the brochures. You'll want to make sure that you carry a bunch of the brochures in the front pockets of your apron at all times. The Power of Choice brochure will be a great brochure to any consumer who has not quite decided on which Nintendo system is right for them. On the back of the brochure, you'll find phone numbers for our gameplay counseling, consumer service, Nintendo Power Magazine, as well as world-class service. Your primary role as a demonstrator is to get a consumer to a purchase decision for a Nintendo product. If a consumer is unable to make that purchase decision, feel free to then give them one of the brochures. Also available for handout are the Mario and Yoshi stickers. You can keep the roll of stickers in the back of your standee display, but keep a small supply with you in the pockets of your apron. Give these to any kids that may be running through the store. For reference tools, in the back of your training binder, you'll find the Nintendo Power Directory. This details information about the games available for our systems and also has release dates about our products. Those are very common questions from kids, and this is a great resource tool you can use to help them. Also available in the back of your training binder are the colored laminated sheets. These detail tons of information about each of our products. On the back of the Super NES is a listing of all the games for the Super NES system. These will also be excellent tools you can use to help consumers come to purchase decisions. Now, let me take some time to give you some detailed information about each of Nintendo's products. Topping Nintendo's line is Nintendo's Super Nintendo Entertainment System, also called the Super NES. This system sets the standard in the 16-bit game market. This system comes in two different system configurations. The first is the Super NES Super Set. The second configuration is the Super NES Control Set. The accessories available for the Super NES are the Super Scope 6 and Mario Paint. I wanted to provide you with some details about what's included in each of our system configurations. To do this, I've created a slideshow for you. Let's take a look. There are two different system configurations for the Super NES. You always want to recommend the Super NES for any player who is an advanced video game enthusiast. The Super Nintendo Entertainment System Super Set comes with a control deck. It is the only system available on the market that comes with two high-tech controllers and a game pack, Super Mario World. It also comes with an AC adapter, the RF switch, and stereo audio-video cables. Everything a video game player needs to take it home and begin playing right away. The Super Nintendo Entertainment System Control Set is designed for the consumer who wants to select for themselves which game pack they want to play first. It puts the consumer in control. This system includes the control deck, one controller, the AC adapter, and the RF switch. Whenever a consumer wants to purchase this system, you want to make sure that you provide them with information on our complete game library so they can select a game to take home with their system and begin playing right away. I'd like to take some time to tell you about the technical specifications of Nintendo's Super Nintendo Entertainment System. But there's one thing I'd like you to keep in mind. Nintendo is committed to producing the most advanced video game hardware available on the market. But part of that design is making sure that there's great games available on the system. Nintendo sets the standard in video game software. In order to understand some of the specifics, we need to have a good definition of the difference between 8-bit and 16-bit. A bit is a unit of computer memory. 8-bit or 16-bit refers to the amount of information that can be processed at the same time by the system. In this case, our 16-bit processor allows for more colors, bigger characters, and more complicated backgrounds and enhanced sound. Our system also has available 16-bit sound samples. The sound in the Super Nintendo Entertainment System is just like that on a compact disc. When the game soundtrack is combined with the clarity and colors of the graphics, the effect is as if you have the feeling you are controlling the events in an interactive movie. Another technical specification are the number of sprites or moving characters that can appear on the screen. The Super NES allows for up to 128 moving characters. This allows for amazing realism for space travel effects or combat. One of the most unique technical specifications on the Super NES is the hardware mode called Mode 7. Mode 7 is a programming mode or technique, and it is unique to Nintendo Super NES. This mode allows you to scale or scroll a background, making it appear as if it's moving closer in or further away. The ultimate effect to the player is that it allows them to feel the action of the game in the pit of their stomach. Resolution has to do with the clarity of the picture produced. The more pixels or dots that a system can create, the more clarity and detail you can have in the game. Nintendo's resolution, combined with the fact that it has over 32,000 colors available, allow for the most realistic game screen images you can imagine. The Super Nintendo Entertainment System has digital stereo sound. A great example is the title screen for the game pack NCAA Basketball. Color layering is a hardware feature unique to the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Color layering allows programmers to have objects move behind or under each other on a screen. The effect is very apparent in the ghosting images of Super Mario World. As if all these technical advancements aren't enough, coming in the first quarter of 1993 is Nintendo's patented Super FX chip. This is a high-speed RISC, or Reduce Instruction Set computer chip, which allows information to be processed many times quicker, allowing for more advanced effects like 3D. Anticipated in the last quarter of 1993 is Nintendo's 32-bit CD-ROM. This system will revolutionize the video game industry. With a 32-bit processor, you can have full-length motion picture interaction for gameplay. As you can see by the technical specifications, Nintendo's Super NES is a superior 16-bit system. But what's most important is that our programmers can take the technical specs of our hardware and create advanced video games that dazzle even the most advanced video games enthusiasts. At Nintendo, we believe the name of the game is the games. If you want to see the best system, take a look and play some of the games.
You're looking at the next breakthrough for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Introducing Super Scope 6. Remote-powered and laser-accurate. Precise to a single television pixel. It comes with 6 great games, and it's yours for under $60, all of which gets you into the game. Like never before. Super Scope 6, only for Super Nintendo. Now you're playing with power, superpower.
Now I'd like to give some detailed demonstrations on the Super Scope 6 and Mario Paint. Let's begin with the Super Scope 6. If you do not have a Super Scope 6 interactive display in your store, have a store personnel assist you so that you can get one off the shelf to demonstrate to consumers. Also, complete instructions on how to set up the Super Scope 6, as well as how to do demonstrations, are available to you in your demonstration kit. Available with the Super Scope 6 are 6 AA batteries that you insert in the back of the unit. You want to make sure that you remember to turn the power off on the unit after each demonstration to avoid draining the batteries. The large purple button is your fire button. The smaller purple button is pause. Included with the Super Scope 6 is the eye adjustment piece, and this goes on either on the right or left-hand side of the Super Scope. It's designed to be breakaway, so kids who play rough with their toys won't hurt the Super Scope while playing. Also included with the Super Scope 6 is the receiver unit, and you want to make sure that this is placed dead center on top of the TV, and make sure you have it plugged into port 2 on the control deck. Now let me show you how to do an actual demonstration. You want to have the consumer stand anywhere from 6 to 12 feet back from the screen, and then just follow the instructions that appear on the screen. It allows you to adjust your aim, and if you need to adjust your aim while working with a consumer, you can just press your pause button. I'll fire to get my first aim, and then it allows me to test my aim to make sure it's where I want it to be. There's 2 different game series available on Super Scope 6, Blastrus and Laser Blazer. Blastrus is a series of puzzle games, and Laser Blazer are your space invasion games. Choose whichever one the consumer would like. Make sure you take some time to play with the Super Scope 6 and get familiar with the games on the game pack. Also available for the Super Scope 6 is Battle Clash. There are additional game packs available. See the game pack directory in the back of your training binder.
A new game is here for your Super NES Super Scope, so prepare yourself because this one fights back. Introducing Battle Clash. 10 levels where monster machines get totally in your face. Battle Clash, it's more than a game, it's a breakthrough.
Have you been inside all day?
Only on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Now you're playing with superpower.
Now let me give you some detailed instructions about how to use Mario Paint. If you do not have a Mario Paint interactive display in your store, please work with your store manager to get a game pack off the shelf and have a TV set up so you can do demonstrations with customers. Complete instructions on how to use Mario Paint are included in your demonstration kit. Now let's take a look at what's included with Mario Paint. Comes with the game pack, the Super NES mouse, and the mouse pad. Included on the orange laminated sheets that you'll find in the back of your training binder, you'll see instructions on how to draw a picture, how to create animation, and how to compose music on Mario Paint. Please take some time to get familiar with the game pack so you'll be able to demonstrate each one of these to consumers while on the floor.
Now what has she done?
She put the cat in the fishbowl and planted corn on her brother's head.
Great.
Then she cut a huge hole in the roof for the butterflies.
Terrific.
That's not all. She tore your stereo apart to add some more woofers and tweeters. I don't know where that child gets her imagination.
Me neither. But I really like what she does with it.
Mario Paint, the power to create, only on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
Introducing the new Mario Paint set designed for your Super NES. This set, which contains the Mario Paint art program, the Super NES mouse and mousepad, allows you to draw, paint, and create original animations. You can even compose your own music. Here's a sample of the magic you can create with Mario Paint. With its smooth play control, the Super NES mouse will let you expand your abilities to new heights. When using the mouse, you can select a desired item quicker and easier than with a standard controller. With Mario Paint, it's easy and fun to let your creativity run wild. Let's start drawing now. Using your small pen tip, begin sketching your ideas. You'll find that the circle, line, and rectangle templates will help you complete your drawing. The erasers will help you edit your drawing if you make a mistake. Okay, now that you've finished your sketch, take your paintbrush, choose a color, move the cursor to an enclosed area, and click the left mouse button. Oops! Click the cursor on the dog in the lower right corner to cancel your last action and try again with the paintbrush. The medium and large size pens help you color and draw areas that require less detail. Mario Paint also contains 120 stamps that you can add to your drawing. These stamps can either be pressed onto your drawing or painted into a pattern like this. By using this grid, you can create your own stamps and edit existing stamps. Now that you've created your own stamp, press the Save button and store the stamp into your personal database. Okay, let's take a break from the drawing board. This game is designed to help novice mouse users improve their mouse coordination. However, even an expert mouse user will find this fly swatting action to be fast-paced fun. Now you're ready to add an animated character to your background drawing. Mario Paint has 4, 6, and 9 frame animations for varying levels of detail. Once your animated character is drawn in the animation cells, return to the main animation menu and select the path icon. This will allow you to create the path that your animated character will follow. Now, click on the animation icon and check out your creation. The last section of your collage to be completed is the background music. The 15 icons at the top of the screen are different sound effects that you can use. Select one and place the icon on the music staff. Once you've written your tune, return to the animation screen and add your melody to your collage. Here are some more examples of the fun you can have with Mario Paint. Packaged with the Super NES mouse and mousepad, Mario Paint rounds out a creative art set that can't be topped.
Mom, Dad, how would you like me to build a new house for you? On the ocean, with a view, and fly you to Paris so you could eat snails for lunch. I could do it with Mario Paint. I'd crown you king and queen. Have servants scrub the tub. I'd paint your portrait and write you a song. Mom and Dad, best darn parents a kid ever had.
Mario Paint, the power to create, only on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
I'll put you on TV.
Now let's talk about the next product in Nintendo's powerful product line. It's Game Boy. Game Boy is the only truly portable game system available on the market. It has over 225 games available for the system, and 50% of the players are adults. The Game Boy everybody loves. The Game Boy system comes with the actual Game Boy system, the very popular puzzle game Tetris. It also comes with stereo headphones and a Game Link cable. The Game Link cable allows two kids to hook together and play head-to-head competition. The system also comes with 4 AA batteries. This allows up to 30 hours of gameplay, and that's a lot in comparison to our competition. Their system only gets about 4 to 6 hours of gameplay on batteries. We also have a full line of accessory for the Game Boy unit. Accessories include the AC adapter. The Game Boy AC adapter plugs into the wall and allows up to 10 hours of non-stop gameplay without using any of the battery life. Also available for the Game Boy is the hip pouch. The hip pouch lets you take your Game Boy with you anywhere you go. Also available is the cleaning kit. The cleaning kit is a great stocking stuffer, and you should recommend it as an add-on product for all Game Boy purchases. And last but not least, there's the 4-player adapter. This will allow up to 4 kids to connect together and all play in head-to-head competition. Great in race car games. Make sure the consumers understand that each child must have their own game pack when playing with the 4-player adapter.
The adult world is designed to keep us moving. And while this may make us more efficient, it's not exactly a party. Luckily, technology has produced a cure. It's called a Game Boy, the personal game-playing system from Nintendo, with lots of sports, action, and puzzle games to choose from. And it comes with a puzzle game Tetris. It could change your outlook.
I'm sorry, sir. Your flight's been delayed. Cool.
Game Boy by Nintendo. Have you had your fun today?
Obey me, Wario. I am your master. Mario is your enemy.
The wicked imposter Wario has cast an evil spell over Mario Land.
Don't let Mario get the 6 golden coins. Don't let Mario reach the palace.
This is the biggest, most dangerous, most challenging Game Boy adventure yet.
Obey Wario. Destroy Mario.
Don't fall under Wario's evil spell in Super Mario Land 2, only on Game Boy.
The last in Nintendo's powerful product line is the NES, or the Nintendo Entertainment System. This system was the original system for Nintendo, released in 1985. There's over 550 games available for this system, from sports games to action-adventure games. The NES Challenge Set comes with the NES 8-bit control deck. It also comes with 2 controllers and the hottest-selling game pack of all time, Super Mario Bros. 3. It also comes with everything you need to connect it to your TV set, the AV cables, the RF switch, and AC adapter. It can also be connected directly to the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, so the whole family can enjoy both systems. Included in the over 40 licensed accessories for the NES is the Max. The Max is a horseshoe-shaped controller that allows small hands to quickly move characters around the screen. Next is the Nintendo Advantage. The Advantage is an arcade-style joystick, complete with turbo control. Another accessory available for the 8-bit control deck is the 4-Score. The 4-Score allows 4 different players to connect to the system and play in head-to-head competition. And last is the NES Cleaning Kit. The Cleaning Kit is a great stocking stuffer for anyone who wants to ensure their game packs can last a lifetime. For the holiday season, there's a whole line of hot products available for the NES 8-bit system. The Classic series, as well as Yoshi.
There's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to hide. Because here comes Yoshi. And he's up against Goombas, Groupers, Pooh Buddies, and Piranha Plants in Nintendo's new stack and sandwich puzzle game called Yoshi. Match the creatures and wipe them out. Play alone or with a friend. But mix them and you won't stand a chance. It's challenging. It's overwhelming.
Hey,
Yoshi!
It's Yoshi, the new puzzle game for Game Boy or NES. Now you're playing with power.
We've covered everything you need to know about the Super NES, the NES, and the Game Boy. Now let's cover some information on the hot new titles you'll see in your store this holiday season. Let's begin with NCAA basketball. This game has unique player perspective. The Mode 7 scaling and scrolling really makes this game hot. Super NES Play Action Football has all the action of a real game. It has NFL play, college play, and high school play. You can even create your own team uniforms in high school mode. Other Super NES titles include The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, incredible underworlds, overworlds, dark worlds, swords, and powerful enemies, a complete adventure with lots of items to uncover, and Super NES Mario Kart. This game features head-to-head competition. It has a race mode and a battle mode. Play together with simultaneous split-screen action. Even check your rearview mirror. Street Fighter 2, with street fighting arcade action. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time. And hey, there's some more of that Mode 7 scaling and scrolling. And of course, everyone's favorite, Super Mario World. This game pack's included in every Super set sold. It also is available separately. And for the Game Boy, we have Super Mario Land 2, a new Mario adventure, featuring a new arch-enemy, Wario. Also available for the Game Boy is Kirby's Dream Land. We have a new superhero, Kirby, who defeats 5 worlds. There's also a second quest for advanced players. And for the NES, we have Yoshi, a great puzzle game in the tradition of Tetris and Dr. Mario. We also get to revisit some of our old favorites on the NES with the classic series, including A Legend of Zelda, The Adventures of Link, Punch-Out, and Metroid. And last but not least, Super Mario Bros. 3, the hottest selling video game pack of all time. And it's included on every NES system sold. It's also available separately.
And now, displays with Jake.
Hi, I'm Jake. I've put together a little film to show you some of our displays. Follow me. This is the Nintendo Power Previews display. Works a lot like a jukebox. You walk up, you push a button, and it plays the game that you've selected. Sometimes you need to adjust the volume on this. To do that, you take your key number 2007, go underneath the keypad, and open up the keypad, and then drop down the front door. You'll find 2 different buttons here. One of them adjusts the attract mode volume, while the other one will adjust the volume of the game that you just selected. You may also see another version of this that's 30 inches wide. Now, we've got a lot more to look at, so let's go take a look at those. There you are! This is the Super NES Floor Interactive Display. You can play some really cool Super NES games on this thing. Sometimes you'll want to change those games out. To do that, take your key marked LL419 on your really cool Mario Paint keyring and open it up by unlocking the lock on the side, and that'll flip the cover up. Open the cover, turn off the power, push down on your eject button, and that'll pop up the game pack. Take out the game pack cartridge, take your new game pack cartridge, put it into the slot, push down firmly, be sure to turn your power back on, and then close and lock your cover. Now, sometimes you'll want to change the volume on this as well. To do that, we have to run around to the side here. The side panel will open up if you take the same key and open the lock on the back of the display. Open up that lock, open the side panel, and if you look right down here, you'll see a little blue block with little teeny tiny switches on it. Right above that is a little thing that looks like a screw head. Take the screwdriver you got in your kit and turn that little screw head one way or the other to adjust the volume. Me, I like the volume up really high. Hey, does this look familiar? This is just like the other unit we just saw, only the countertop version. The inside workings are just like the other one, so I'm not going to bother showing you that. I do want to show you how to set the volume on this one, and that's around the other side. Come over here, and again, we look for that little blue block where the timer settings are made, and look for the little screw head driver adjustment right above that. Be sure to put in your screwdriver, and you know me, I like it up real loud. Hi again. Let's talk about some Game Boy displays. First, we've got the Game Boy Counter interactive display. Here you've got your cool Game Boy with amplified stereo sound. Now on this display, you want to change out the game pack and or adjust the volume. To do that, let's go to the back of the display. In the back, take your key marked MM101, unlock the back door, open it all the way up, and inside you'll see the top end of your Game Boy here. To change the cartridge, be sure to turn the volume on your Game Boy off, push up on the game cartridge and lift it out, and then take the game cartridge that you want to replace and put it in with the label facing down, press firmly into the Game Boy. Don't forget to turn the power back on, and you're ready to play your new game. Now, adjusting the volume. Let's move to the left-hand side over here. You'll see a funny little electronic board with a bunch of little things like legs and, you know, bugs with legs and stuff. And right up here, you've got a little shaft sticking out with a rubber grommet on it. That's your volume control. Take that and turn it up to make it louder, or down to make it quieter. And don't forget, always close and lock your displays. Next, we'll talk about this unit here. Another great Game Boy interactive with a Game Boy mounted right in here, superb stereo amplified sound, but in this one, we've added some really cool special electronics so that we can watch the game being played on a TV screen. Now here we don't have to get into the back of the display. To change the game cartridge or adjust the volume, we simply open the front panel by using your MM101 key again, turn the key, the front panel flips down. Inside, at the top of your Game Boy, just like we did a minute ago, you can turn the power off and pull your game cartridge out to change it. To put a new one in, don't forget, label has to be down. Insert that into the back of the Game Boy, turn your power back on, and you're ready to play. Adjusting the volume is just as easy. Over here on the right-hand side, you'll see a little black handle sticking off of the electronic board. Simply turn that up or down to adjust your volume. Again, don't forget to close and lock your cover. Almost done. Only 3 more to go. Let's start out with some of our bigger displays. Here we've got a Super NES Interactive, and you've seen the Super NES before. This one, you've changed the game pack out in before, so we'll skip all that. But on this one, the volume is a little bit tricky to find, so I want to show you where that's at. Take your key marked MM101, unlock and open the cover, and looking way up here on the left-hand side, there's a little tiny knob to adjust your volume. Use that to adjust your volume up and back down again. Be sure to close your cover and lock it. Another display that's very similar to this, and another gargantuan in size type display, is this one right here. On this one, we have both the NES and a Game Boy. On the NES side, I want to show you how to change the game pack and adjust the volume on this one. We haven't seen the NES before. Again, using your key numbered MM101, unlock the cover, lift it out of your way, and inside you'll see the Nintendo Entertainment System control deck. To change a cartridge, press your power button, lift the door, pop out the old cartridge, and take the new cartridge that you want to put in, label facing up, stuff it in there and push it down. Pop down that door, push the power on, and you're ready to play. One more thing before we get out of here is this volume control over here. You've seen the board before, you've seen the silver shaft before, and there's a little rubber grommet. Just take it and turn your volume up or down, and you're all set. Don't forget, close the door and lock it. Okay, over here on the Game Boy side, again, this is all part of this one great display. And one more time, we put those really, really special electronics in here so you can see the game on the TV screen. The Game Boy down here is mounted into this cover. To change the game pack or adjust the volume, one more time, take that MM101 key, you ought to know that number by now, push it into the lock, unlock, the whole cover comes out, but be careful not to pull too hard, you'll yank all the wires out. Inside, you've got access to your Game Boy cartridge, and you've already seen how to change that out. Down here, you've got your electronic board with that real familiar silver shaft and rubber grommet. And if you haven't guessed by now, that is the volume control. When you're done, put your cover back on and lock the display up. Okay, time to move on. Jake's journey is almost over, but first I've got one more display to show you. Here we've got the 3-system interactive tower with the NES, Game Boy, and the Super NES in it. Let's take a look. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, with this thing, all 3 sides are set up pretty much the same. They've got the unit housed inside of a drawer where you can get into and change the game packs out. Let's see how we do that. Underneath the center of the drawer, you take your MM101 key into the lock, you turn the lock, and then pull your drawer out as such. Lift your cover up, you can get inside, change the game pack out, turn the unit on and off. Be sure to close the cover up, and obviously we want to close and lock the drawer down here. That leaves just the volume control. Real easy spot, not very visible. Over here on the left-hand side, just under the drawer, feel around, you'll find a little black tube down here. Take that tube and turn the volume up or down as you see fit. Now you know me, I like the volume up really high.
Let me give you a few selling tips. Make sure you check the inventory of your store for Nintendo products. When helping customers with purchase decisions, be mindful of your store's inventory and offer only the products your customers can take home with them after talking to you. Beginning conversations with customers can be intimidating. We don't want you to be a hard sell with your customers, and they certainly don't want to be pushed into a purchase. We don't want you to be pushy with customers either, but we do ask you to be assertive. Talk to each customer when they come into the area of the store where you are set up. Remember, your primary task as a Nintendo product demonstrator is to motivate your store's customers to buy a product while they're in the store that day. We at Nintendo feel that our quality products speak for themselves. Your job is to be a resource for customers so they find the best product that fits their needs and allows them to make an immediate purchase decision. We've provided you with a few questions that you can ask. This will help you open conversations and find out what product might best fit a consumer's needs. The 3 questions are: what type of features or games is the player interested in? How old is the primary player? And how experienced is the player? You can also ask some additional questions like, does the person enjoy sports games or adventure games? Why does the player enjoy these features? How many different players are in the same household? And do they like to play in head-to-head competition? Using this information and your laminated product sheets, you can help your consumers come to a purchase decision. If your customers have any questions you cannot answer, hand them a Power of Choice brochure and recommend they call the Nintendo Consumer Service Hotline. The number is noted on the back of the brochure. Bottom line, match the product features with the customer's needs. Be enthusiastic and have fun.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Well, I'd heard about this Super NES being pretty cool, but you guys don't have any sports games for it, so...
Oh, actually, we do have over 20 sports games for
20
the
of
Super
them,
Nintendo.
huh? All right.
Yeah. Do you like basketball?
Oh, yeah.
We have NCAA, which was just released, college basketball. The scaling and rotation on this game are unavailable on any other system.
Oh, really?
Yeah. As you move down the court and the ball changes players' hands, the whole screen will rotate behind that player.
Oh, cool.
As you can see, here's a sports page for the Super NES on all our sports games.
Oh, you guys got football?
Football, basketball, baseball, tennis.
Soccer, all right.
Bowling, everything. If you'd like to take a look at those games, we can move right over here and take a look at them.
Sounds good.
Great.
Hey, Nintendo.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, I don't have a game system now, and I'm thinking about getting one, but I just don't know which one to get. I heard you guys are going to have a CD-ROM or something?
Yeah, we sure are. The CD-ROM is going to be a 32-bit system, which is different from every other one you've seen.
Wow.
Every other one out there is a 16-bit. With a 32-bit, you're going to get a lot more action. It'll be a lot quicker pace. You'll be actually in movies playing the games rather than just watching and observing a game and kind of waiting and pausing.
Yeah, well, that sounds great, but you're not going to have that for a while.
It's scheduled for release in 1993. But the thing that you need to keep in mind about it is that it actually connects to the Super NES. It's going to be an accessory, not a separate system. So you can go ahead and get the Super NES now, get really into all the 16-bit games that are currently available, and then when the CD-ROM comes out, you'll be right there.
Hook up with it then. Well, that sounds great.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I think you sold me. We're
All
at it.
right, great. Let's go get one right
Okay.
over here.
Here you go.
Great, thank you.
Thanks. Hi, how can I help you?
Well, I'm looking for something for my son who's an arcade enthusiast.
Okay, do you consider him an advanced or a beginning player?
Advanced?
Advanced. Okay, we have the Super NES, which is a 16-bit system. We consider that for our advanced players. We have Mario Paint with the mouse controller here. You can draw, animate, and compose your own music with it.
Wow, this looks great.
Great.
Well, I'm kind of on a budget.
Okay, we have this two systems, or two sets for the system. We have the Super NES Super Set and the more affordable Control Set. And that's probably what would be best for you then.
Okay, well, let's do it.
Okay, let's go get one.
All right, thanks.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, pretty good. I'm doing some shopping for my son, and we've had a Super Nintendo for a while now. He loves shoot-'em-up games.
Okay. Well, I think the Super Scope is probably a good accessory for the Super Nintendo. It just came out not too long ago. It comes with a 6-in-1 game pack as well, which has shoot-'em-up games on it. It's a lot of fun. You want to give it a try?
Yeah, we've seen it on TV. Can you show me how it works?
Sure.
Okay.
It's got the large firing button right here, and you just look through the sights and aim it at the moving targets.
Okay.
Now, are you left-handed or right-handed?
I'm right-handed, but my son is left-handed.
Okay, well, it's set up for right-handed right now, but you can set up for left-handed if you like.
Okay.
Go ahead and put it on your shoulder and stand right over there. Give it a try. Now, the Super Scope is totally wireless, and it comes with batteries to operate it, and it comes with a 6-in-1 game pack as well. But we just came out with a really cool game called Battle Clash, which I think your son would like because it is a really fast-paced shoot-'em-up game, and that just came out not too long ago.
Well, you know, it sounds like my son would love this. So how about you give me a Super Scope and that Battle Clash game, too?
Great. I'd be more than happy to. Got one right here. There you go. Have fun.
Thank you.
All right.
You might want to try Yoshi. That's a great game that both of them can play together also.
Oh, yeah, I've been looking for some new Game Boys.
Great. Thanks.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm looking for a Game Boy for my husband and some new games that he and my son can play together.
Oh, all right. Great idea. Game Boy comes with Tetris. Both of you can play together on that. What kind of games were you interested in? Action games, sports games?
Both.
Both? Both. Okay. Well, a great sports game that you might want to recommend they can play together is Play Action Football for the Game Boy.
Okay.
They can play against each other on that one.
Okay.
And then for action games, have you heard about Super Mario Land, the first one for Game Boy?
He has that one. I heard there was a new sequel.
Yeah, there is. It's called Super Mario Land 2, 6 Golden Coins. Great action-adventure game for the Game Boy.
Okay. Okay, thanks for your help.
Sure, no problem.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Hi.
Hi.
I've got a Super Nintendo, and I'm looking for some two-player games, you know, head-to-head stuff. I play a lot of games with my friends.
Cool.
And, you know, we like sports games and just about anything that you can go head-to-head competition with.
All right, have you heard about NCAA, the new basketball game by Nintendo?
Yeah, I've heard a little bit about it.
Oh, this game is great. It actually uses the Mode 7 feature in the game.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah. So instead of actually having to watch the game and observe, you're actually from the player's perspective playing the game. It's a great sports game.
Yeah, that's a cool feature for the Super Nintendo. I really like that in the games you guys got.
Do you like football?
Football's cool. I like that.
Have you seen Super Play Action Football?
No. What's it like?
Another game. If you like Mode 7, you're gonna love Super Play Action Football. Another game that uses that technology, gets you actually on the field playing with the players. Cool. It's a great feature.
How about some racing games? You got anything like F-Zero?
Yeah, and actually we have a new one out called Super Mario Kart that allows you to play head-to-head. So you said you really like that. This takes the racing modes and lets you play head-to-head. It also has a battle mode where you can throw shells at your enemies and defeat them that way. It's really fun.
All right, yeah, because the F-Zero was only one player, and I was looking forward to a two-player racing game.
Yep, there it is for you.
Thanks a lot.
Great.
Hi.
Hi.
I need a Nintendo.
All right.
My kids are driving me nuts. Everyone's got one. I don't have one. Gotta get one.
All right, you've come to the right place. We actually have 3 different Nintendo systems out there on the market. Let me
3.
walk you through what the 3 of them are. This is our Super Nintendo Entertainment System. It's the high-end product in the 16-bit market. All that means is that it's a really advanced system with dazzling graphics, over 32,000 different colors, and a game library of 125 games featuring sports games, action games. It's a great system for an advanced video game
For
player.
advanced. God, that sounds great.
Oh, it's great. We also have one over here. This is our NES, the original system that Nintendo came out with in 1985. This system has over 550 games out for it. It also has sports games, family kind of game show type games. It's a really great system. This system over here is our Game Boy system. This is the portable handheld. With just 4 AA batteries, you get 30 hours of gameplay. And it has a library of over 200 games. And the thing that's so neat about the Game Boy is that you can actually link 2 Game Boys together and then play against each
Play
other.
head to head?
Yeah.
That sounds great for me on the plane.
is
Unfortunately, my son wouldn't have anything to play with at home. I think I'll start with the NES.
The NES.
The original.
Yeah, it's a great system for the whole family to play with.
Great.
It'd be
And
really good.
when I master this, I'll buy the Super NES.
Great.
That's a fun game, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I've heard a lot about this new 16-bit Nintendo. What can you tell me about it?
The Super Nintendo Entertainment System, it comes in 2 package configurations.
Yes.
The Super Set includes 2 high-tech controllers and the Super Mario World Game Pack.
That's the one I was just playing, right?
Right, that fun one right
yeah,
there.
that's kind of fun.
If you wish to purchase the game pack of your choice, then you can opt for the Super Nintendo control set, and that includes 1 high-tech controller.
Okay, and does it come with a game?
No, it allows you the opportunity to purchase the game of your choice.
Okay, no, I was looking at another video game system that has 16-bit.
Okay.
I'm kind of looking at that one because of the games. What can you tell me about the differences?
Let me give you a little bit of information on comparison and so forth. The competition or other 16-bit systems, as far as colors available, 512.
And what does the Nintendo have?
Nintendo over 32,000.
Wow, that's quite a difference.
It's exciting, yet it's the modes like rotation, scaling, windowing that makes Nintendo far more exciting.
Is that like the background and
Exactly.
everything? Okay.
So I think that the Super Nintendo system is superior.
Okay, well, maybe I'll give this one a try. This is the one with the 2 controllers, right?
Yes.
Okay, why don't I try this one? Just take it up to the front?
Yes.
Thanks for your help.
You're welcome.
You guys did a great job on your role plays. Now let's take some time to talk about the competition. Nintendo feels that our game systems speak for themselves. We offer the highest quality games and the best ongoing support in the video game industry. And even with over 70 million game players out there and a combined library of over 800 titles, questions about the competition still come up. When you do get questions about the competition, we'd like you to follow a few of these rules. First of all, never mention the competition's name. This tends to give them more exposure and also generates questions about the competitive products for which we do not provide answers. 2, never knock, degrade, insult, or make derogatory comments about the competition's products or users. 3, always ask your customers why a competitive feature is important to them. This may uncover the real concerns they have regarding a product. 4, focus on what Nintendo has to offer, not what the competition does not have. 5, if your customers have any questions you cannot answer, hand them a Power of Choice brochure and recommend they call the Nintendo Consumer Service Hotline at 1-800-255-3700. This number is noted on the back of the brochure. Being enthusiastic about what you do know about Nintendo games and products goes much further in winning customer support than a confusing feature comparison war. The laminated feature sheets will be a great help with you when fielding questions about the competition. They contain product information, a product comparison chart, and best of all, a glossary of technical terms. Carry these with you to help you assist customers. Since the Super NES is the newest member of our product line, we feel most questions will be about this system. Consequently, the question and answer sheets deal mostly with the Super NES and its related products, such as Mario Paint, Super Scope, and the CD-ROM. Common questions on Game Boy and the NES are included also. Don't be alarmed if while you're out on your store location, you see a product demonstrator from the competition. Actually, Nintendo feels this is the best way to view and see the high quality of our games. When you compare our software against the competition head-to-head, that's when our products really shine. As a matter of fact, we have for you a game comparison video that does just that. Please take a moment to pause this videotape and view that video now. Now let me tell you what you need to do in case you run out of supplies. If you have other items that you need, turn to that section in your binder and complete the top portion of the form provided. It will ask you for information like your store number and the store manager's name. The people at the 1-800 number will ship the supplies that you need to the person you have referenced on the form. You can then see that person within 48 hours and the supplies will be waiting for you there. If any of your interactive displays need repair, or if you do not have an interactive display, make sure you call the 1-800 number provided. A Nintendo merchandiser will be dispatched to your location within a few days. Now let's show you how to fill out the forms you'll need to complete. Included in your binder is an hourly reimbursement form. You need to make sure you complete this form each day. Your store manager will need to also sign this form each day. At the completion of your work shift, you will keep the pink copy of the form for yourself and give the other 2 completed portions of the form to your store manager. The evaluation is the very last page of your training binder. Complete the evaluation side and then fold the form in 3. Staple it and drop it in the mail. The postage is already prepaid. Second of all, make sure you leave the following items with your store manager. Any extra brochures that you may have, the World-Class Service Center counter pad. Please make sure you leave the display keys, but you're more than welcome to keep the Mario Paint keychain. Make sure you leave the white and yellow copies of your hourly reimbursement form with the store manager. Please leave the 3 Nintendo Power Books, the pocket information card, and this videotape and binder. Next, you may keep these following items: the hat and apron, the keychain, the Super NES pen, and the 4-in-1 pocket knife set, the buttons, the pink copy of your hourly reimbursement form, and the stand-up Mario display. Whatever you do not want, please destroy.
This is only a test. Had this been an emergency regarding Nintendo product information, you would have called 1-800-255-3700.
We've given you all the information that you need to succeed on your job assignment, but I wanted to take a couple minutes and see if you had any questions. Is there any questions? Go ahead.
Are the systems difficult to hook up, and what do I do if I get a hookup question?
Good question. Each system has its own instructions on how to hook up the control deck to the TVs that are out there. We even have instructions on how to hook the Super NES to the NES. If you do get questions on that, assure the consumer that there's easy-to-follow instructions, give them a hookup poster, and you can also reference the 1-800 number. Consumer service can walk people through on hookups. Any others? Yes?
What if I get a question about repair?
If you get a question about a repair, you can go ahead and show a consumer the information on the back of the Power of Choice brochure. There's a 1-800 number, and through that 1-800 number, a consumer will be referenced to any one of our independent world-class service centers that are out there. Anything else? Go ahead.
Why isn't there an adapter so we can play the NES games on the Super NES?
Good question, and you probably will get that when you're out there at your store. Actually, the NES is an adapter in and of itself. We have over 35 million consumers out there who own the NES. We've designed the Super NES so you can connect it right to the NES. Forcing those 35 million consumers to buy an additional accessory would really be unnecessary for them and a waste of their money. Since the Super NES connects right to the NES, the consumer can continue to play their NES games and then just play their Super NES games in the Super NES system. Any others? Yes?
Are you going to discontinue the 8-bit system, the NES?
Absolutely not. Nintendo is actually a 3-product company: the Super NES, the Game Boy, and the NES. We have over 35 million units out there, as well as over 70 million players. And over 90% of those still play the NES daily. It's a strong game system for us, and we have no plans to discontinue it. Are there any others? Yes.
Why would I buy a regular NES when I could buy a Super NES?
The NES is still a very strong product. It has over 550 games out for it and over 40 accessories. It's still a very strong system out there, and it's especially useful for people who are novice players or want a low-cost entry into the video game market. Any others? Yes.
Yes, I was just wondering if you can tell me about the sports games out for Nintendo.
The sports games, especially for the Super NES, is one of Nintendo's strong categories. There's over 24 sports games that are out during this holiday season, and the sports games feature our unique Mode 7 scaling and scrolling. What this allows is an actual from-the-player perspective on our games, on our sports games. This is a unique perspective that you can't get with any other 16-bit system out there. For complete information about the sports games, make sure you hand every consumer one of those big sports pages. Any others? Yes?
What if a consumer has a question on release dates?
Oh, good. You probably will get that, especially from kids. They get so excited to see anyone representing Nintendo, they're going to come running towards you and say, "When's that one going to be out? When's that one going to be out?" Feel free to look in that Game Pack directory. It's in the back of your training binder that has all the information on release dates for future games. And make sure you give those kids those stickers, too. Anything else? Yes?
When is the CD-ROM coming out?
The CD-ROM, which is the compact disc read-only memory system, it's kind of like, it looks like a compact disc player, only it'll play video games on the discs. That's scheduled for release in 1993.
Well, why should I wait when there's other CD-ROMs out?
Oh, that's a really good question. Our competition does have a CD-ROM system available. Their system is a 16-bit system. Ours will actually be a 32-bit system. So you will see a huge leap in video game quality in the games. Not only is it going to have higher quality graphics and sound and full 3D effects, but because it's 32-bit, it'll be faster, much more interactive and exciting. That's a really good reason to wait. A second reason is that we'll have 2 different CD-ROM type systems available. One will be an accessory that you can attach onto the Super NES. The second one will be a Super NES and the CD-ROM together in one system, making it a real nice unit for people who don't have the Super NES yet. Good question, thanks. Is there any others? Yes?
What if the store doesn't have a Super Scope or a Mario Paint for me to display?
Good question. We definitely want you to be doing both Mario Paint and Super Scope 6 demonstrations for consumers. So if there's not one set up in your store, please contact any store personnel, the store manager. Have them get the units off the shelf and set it up for a system for you to display. If there's no interactive displays or your actual interactive displays, meaning those large ones with the TVs already set up, if you don't have one of those in your store or it is not operating, make sure you call that 1-800 number that's in the binder. Any others? Yes?
Can you review when we hand out the brochures?
Sure. The Power of Choice brochure you hand out to any customer who can't decide which 3 Nintendo systems to purchase. If someone has a question about a Super NES and you can't get them to a purchase decision that day, then feel free to hand them just the Super NES brochure. Same thing with the Game Boy. If they're interested in the product and you can't bring them to a purchase decision, feel free to hand the Game Boy brochure out to them. Remember, the sports page you can give to anybody in the store, along with the Mario stickers, and the hookup posters are only for those consumers who have questions on hookups. Anything else? Yes?
I hear the competition has a color portable game system. Why would I buy a Game Boy when I can get a color one?
That's a really good question, and you may encounter that at the stores. Actually, the Game Boy is the only truly portable system on the market because of its size. Because it's a monochrome screen with an LCD display, it keeps it nice, small, and compact. It can fit in a pocket, it can fit in a briefcase. It makes it really nice. The other reason that our system is superior is that on the 4 AA batteries, you get over 30 hours of gameplay, compared with 4 to 6 hours on a color system. Ours is truly a portable system and real strong for both adults and kids. Good. Is there any others? Yes?
What if someone were to ask a gameplay question?
You may get some kid real excited, rush up to you. Wow, you work for Nintendo. Do you know how to defeat? Well, if you get any of those, make sure you refer them to the Nintendo Power Players Guides. They're in the back of your Mario standee. Since there's one for the Super NES, the NES, and the Game Boy, it should cover most of the questions kids may ask. If that doesn't, feel free to refer them to the 206 gameplay number that's on the back of the Power of Choice brochure. Any others? Yes?
What is a Super FX chip?
The Super FX chip is a patented chip that Nintendo will be having and releasing in February of '93. How it'll work is it'll actually be in the game pack. It's not an accessory, it's not anything additional that the consumer has to buy. It's simply in the game pack. What it uses is advanced technology similar to the special effects you saw on Terminator 2, and it's just going to blow you away as far as graphics and gameplay. It's really cool. Are there any other questions? Okay, if you have no other questions, I have a couple for you. Okay, we talked about a banner that you might get, one of 3 or 5 different types of banners out there. Who can tell me some of the key points to remember about hooking up or putting up that banner? Okay, good.
Well, we ask the store personnel to hang them for us, and we make sure the product's in stock, so we know whether to remove is coming to show is here.
Great, perfect, good. Okay, who would you recommend the Super NES to? Yes?
The more advanced type player.
Okay, good. Next is, why is the Super NES superior?
Over 125 games and fantastic sport games.
Excellent.
It has over 32,000 colors versus 512 by the competition.
Perfect.
Digital stereo sound.
Great, yeah.
It's the only system with Mode 7 rotation and scrolling.
And I have one more question. What's the name of the game? The game! And who's got them? Nintendo! Awesome!
Many suns ago, this little Italian guy, he came to our pretty island. They call him Mario.
Mario?
And my people, they love this little dude. He brings with him many games.
There's a child in us all. We all want to have fun. And electronic games and video games represent an at-your-fingertips play experience. They're pure old fun.
Nintendo!
Now, all the time, they want more. More.
Want to go back to your place and play a little Nintendo?
You're dead. I win.
Wow, a Game Boy!
Go! You really have to start taking care of your phone.
What kind of password is that?
You gotta get rid of the Steam password. I'm not gonna tell you.
Maybe I fax a memo to Mario. Send more games.
Super Mario 3 is fun. Buy it.
Hey, you got a Nintendo.